KFI AM 640. You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly. On demand on the iHeartRadio app.
Ooh, Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Later with Mo Kelly is Giving Tuesday. And the 14th annual KFI Pastathon still is going strong. Chef Bruno's charity, Katarina's Club, provides more than 25,000 meals every week to kids in need right here in Southern California because of your generosity. It's not too late. You can always come out and see us at the live KFI Pastathon broadcast. We're at the Anaheim White House, which is 887 South Anaheim Boulevard. We're here until 10 o'clock tonight, and you can donate on site. You can drop off pasta or your sauce donations. But if you can't make it here, you can't make it out to us, we will miss you. But you can donate now or bid on auction items at KFIAM640.com/Pastathon. We have some great experiences and gifts which are available for you to bid on. And also, today only until 9 p.m., so you have one more hour. You can go into Wild Fork Foods, various locations in Huntington Beach, Costa Mesa, Mission Viejo, or Laguna Niguel. Do your regular shopping and say KFI Pastathon at checkout, and 15% of your total will be donated to the KFI Pastathon. You can shop at any Smart and Final store and donate any amount at checkout through December 8th. So it does not end tonight. It goes through December 8th. And speaking of December 8th, you can go to any Wendy's restaurant here in Southern California and donate $5 or more and get a coupon book for Wendy's goodies through December 8th. And 100% of your donation goes to Katarina's Club. No administrative fees. 100% of your donation goes to Katarina's Club. And we have an update. As of 8 p.m., we have 32,545 pounds of pasta and sauce, which have been donated. And we have $754,637 in donations to help feed children all across Southern California. And that's the best part of this. I always look forward to the updates because I know it's good news coming. It's not often you can say, I expect good news. But every single hour, we know the good news is coming. I can go over to Michelle, and she's going to hand me some good news. And I get to pass on that good news to all of you. And let me bring back in Tuwala Sharp, the producer of the show, who's been giving away T-shirts and doing trivia contests. What have you been doing during the break?
Really meeting and greeting and talking to all the fantastic people here. There are like 11 people here. It's almost too crowded for any more people to join, but you still can. We will make room for you.
One or
come
two
on
seats.
in, giving away wonderful prizes. We still have your opportunity to win this big-ass basket, so make sure you have grabbed a raffle ticket. No cost to enter. It's just get a ticket for being here, but you have to be here till the end of the show. And I forgot, we have one more thing to raffle off.
Yes, we do.
It's not just this big-ass basket. Every ticket that goes in here also qualifies to win tickets to the most fantastic show ever.
The Grits and Glamour Tour, which is coming up on December 5th at La Mirada Theater. We have a family 4-pack for someone who is here right now. So if you're in your car and thinking about going home, don't do it. Just come on down to the Anaheim White House, which is 887 South Anaheim. If you want this big-ass basket, well, just come on down to the Anaheim White House. If you want to make a donation, don't go home. Just come on down to the Anaheim White House. We have a chair or two for you and someone else. There is an open bar. No, we're not paying for your drinks, but you can get drunk. That's up to you. Drink responsibly. And also, we got to thank Anaheim Hilton. The accommodations for our KFI Pastathon crew have been provided by Hilton Anaheim, a 4-star hotel featuring newly renovated rooms with views of the Disneyland fireworks. The perfect locale for your next staycation. Book your room at HiltonAnaheimHotel.com. And I love being part of Pastathon, listening to people tell me stories of how they met Chef Bruno, or how they enjoyed coming to the Anaheim White House, or how they know someone personally who was fed because of Pastathon, or if they know a family who has been rehoused specifically because of Katarina's Club. That's the best part for me. It's one thing to talk about this in the abstract. It's one thing to say, oh, children are being fed 25,000 each and every week. That's kind of hard to really wrap your mind around. But when someone comes up to you and says, Chef Bruno saved me and my family, it makes it much more tangible. It makes it real. And you can see how lives are being changed each and every week. That's why, and I do recommend people actually come down to the Anaheim White House, meet Chef Bruno, talk with him, find out how he does what he does, how he makes this magic every single week. Have him introduce you to some of the volunteer staff, people that who he's helped personally, who are working here in the restaurant, who will go on to different careers. Listen to how he has changed people's lives. It's don't get me wrong. I appreciate each and every one of your donations. I do. But it's also more important to learn about the actual people. Not just the process, but the people who he's touching, the people that he's feeding, the lives that he's changing, the families that he's rehousing. Once you hear that firsthand, you'll get a more complete understanding of how important not only this night is, but how important Katarina's Club is to help people as best you can right where you are. We're not helping people, and there's nothing wrong with it, but we're not helping people who are on the other side of the country per se. We're helping kids right here that you would presumably pass each and every day. And it's so simple, it's almost difficult. It's so simple, you think, well, I can't really be helping that many children. No, it is that simple. Every single donation that you have is going to be feeding children. It is an A-B proposition. With your donation, children are being fed. It's that simple. And if you still have time, you do have time, if you still want to come down and see us, you can see us at the Anaheim White House, which is 887 South Anaheim Boulevard. We will be here until 10 p.m. We're going to keep this party going. I see the drinks are still flowing. Tuala's is going to be giving away more Later with Mo Kelly swag during the break, and we're going to be auctioning off great prizes. You need to go to kfiam640.com/Pastathon so you can bid on an exclusive experience, including co-hosting Later with Mo Kelly on a Friday night, the whole show from beginning to end. If you've ever wanted to be on the radio, it's there for you. It's there for the taking. So kfiam640.com/Pastathon.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly. We are live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app as we continue to come to you from the Anaheim White House on this occasion of the 14th annual Pastathon. And joining me right now is Mackenzie, who's a hospitality student at Bruno's Hospitality Academy, a junior in high school. Mackenzie, it's a pleasure to meet you tonight. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? And it's a very good pleasure to meet you too.
You are a hospitality student. How did you come about entering that program? How did you first find out about the program?
I first found out about the program through my culinary and hospitality program at my high school. And 2 people have actually interned here last year before. So my teacher decided to recommend it to us again.
When did you know that this is what you wanted to do? At least at this point in your life, you believe it's what you want to do.
I believe that I wanted to do something that had to do with culinary and hospitality when I was really little, because I grown up in the kitchen.
Okay, you're not that old now. You know that, right?
No.
What did it look like? I mean, did you want to one day have your own restaurant? Did you want to work as a line cook, a sous chef? What did it look like in your vision?
I wanted to actually own my own bakery in a way, because I really like baking a little bit more than cooking. So, yeah.
Did that come from someone in your family, like you were learning from maybe a grandparent or a parent, or is it something you just developed a desire to learn on your own?
I actually learned from my grandma and my mom, and they've always just cooked a lot of meals, and I've just learned more from them.
Do you have a specialty? Do you have a favorite baked good or item you like to do?
Probably homemade coffee cake for in the morning.
Who is your biggest critic? Is it
My
your
grandma?
Yes. I'm quite sure. I think I know this answer. Let's see if I'm right. I'm willing to bet that your grandmother or mother has special recipes that they won't give you yet.
Yes.
Which ones are those?
It's like the ones that they make occasionally on like family dinners and everything. And so it's like roast or just like these desserts. I don't know, like pork chops, like stuff like that. They keep like this special recipe in a book, but then they like hide it away book, so I can't find it until I'm older.
Okay. As a part of this internship, I know you're learning something every single day. What surprises you about what you learn? Is it, like, for example, some may start in the hospitality industry and they're surprised at how much work is involved. Has anything surprised you so far?
How much people like bread.
I happen to be one. Just keep the bread flowing. What else have you learned or noticed?
Well, I've learned a lot about how to communicate better with customers and how to address their needs and how to do it in like a timely manner, and also how to be in a fast-paced environment without getting like overly stressed.
Customer service, I believe, is probably the most difficult facet of any industry. When I say you're front-facing, you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with people, maybe they've had a bad day, maybe they're just naturally impatient, and you don't get to have a bad day, at least on your face. How did you go about learning how to manage that?
Well, if I ever feel like I'm just having a really bad day, I'll take at least 1 minute to myself, and then I'll recollect my thoughts and know that I have to do this in order so everybody else, like I don't bring anybody else down. And so I've learned from that, and from there on I've always had like a smile on my face.
How involved is Chef Bruno in this process? How often do you see him? Is he hands-on? Is he pulling you aside and giving you personal advice? How does he work with you?
He's basically here almost all the time I'm here, and he's always just going around, especially in the kitchen, and he's making sure we have like everything we need to do and that we do it correctly.
What are the different facets of hospitality that you're learning?
I'm learning a lot about just service and how to address how to address people and time management.
How long are your days usually?
My days are usually, we only have to be here for about 5 hours, but if we want to stay a little bit overtime, we can. And then that'll just contribute to our hours.
Have you seen anything which says, okay, now I thought when I started I wanted to do this, but now I really, really want to do this because I learned something along the way?
It's probably, I've always wanted to be in like the restaurant, but now that I'm actually here, I've kind of just wanted to be like more involved, especially in the front a lot, because I like interacting with customers and helping them.
You like to interact with customers?
Yes.
That'll change. I shouldn't have said, but it's true. What is the best part of what you do? Yes, you like to interact with customers, but is it seeing a smile on one of their faces? Is it knowing that they're going to come back because of the service that you've given? What do you think is the best part of what you do?
I think it is because of the smiles that come across their faces, especially when I notice they're like a little like not talkative. I'll make some jokes, and then they'll laugh, and it will make me feel like I'm actually doing something to help somebody. And I know that in the long run, that if they're really having a bad day, so, like even a small, simple smile can help them.
What are you looking for? How do you know that it's a good time for a joke or not?
Because I always know it's a good time for a joke if they're talking about the bread a lot, or if they just don't seem that talkative.
There's that bread thing again. What do you think is going to be next for you in your career? Because now you have this that you can put on your resume. You have worked in one of the best restaurants in California and probably the country. What is next for you?
I think I can get into a lot of like bigger restaurants, high-end restaurants with this, especially because it is more of a high-end restaurant. And also I would want to apply here after, so I would get more of that experience.
Would you want to work more as in the service industry, or would you want to also see what your baking skills may lead to?
I kind of want to lean towards what my baking skills may lead to.
All right. You don't have to choose one or the other, but you have the whole world in front of you, and that's the best part of having a clear vision of what you want to do. And you're already ahead of the game. You are ahead of most of your peers, probably all of them who have any inclination of working in this business. Mackenzie, I want to salute you and thank you for coming on the show tonight. Thank you for what you're doing at the Anaheim White House.
Thank you.
And I wish you nothing but success. And Mackenzie is a hospitality student here at Bruno's Hospitality Academy. Congratulations. Much success to you.
Thank you.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. It's KFI Pastathon. And we move on. Don't forget, go to KFIAM640.com/Pastathon where you can see all the auction items and make your bids. We're getting down to the end. You have a little bit more than an hour if you want to make that bid and make a play for a special experience.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly. Pastathon 2024. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. There's still time for you to come and join us at the Anaheim White House, which is 887 South Anaheim Boulevard. We're here until 10 o'clock. You can make your donations on site or at any Wendy's, as a matter of fact. And joining me right now is the VP of Cotty Foods, Ed Garrigus. How you doing, sir?
Doing great.
It is always, yes, give it up, give it up. It is always great to see you. Not only are you helping, but you're personally invested. You are here. You are very much a part of the process of helping feed children in your way through Wendy's. What possessed you to even get involved?
Well, listening to you guys on the radio for several years talk about it, and the fact that, just hearing that there's kids going to bed at nighttime without food, and then my wife's in the education business, and, she would talk about, kids coming to school and they were hungry in the morning and how much different it is when they try to learn and they don't have food in their belly.
They can't concentrate.
They can't.
I think about how, someone told me long ago, just try to do what you can with what you have right where you are.
Right.
And we all have various levels of what I call blessings to be able to help people in various ways. But this seems more personal for you.
Well, it just seems so simple to me. When you can donate $1 and you can feed a child one night, at least it's $1 and at least it's one night. Mm-hmm. So it just seems really simple. It's a simple thing to do. And it amazes me how difficult we make things in life.
We do make it more difficult than it is. Speaking of simplicity, you were the guiding force, correct me if I'm wrong, as to how you can walk into a Wendy's and you can make your donation and get a coupon book in return. Where did that come from?
Well, as usual, it's easier when you offer something to get somebody to come in.
Oh, say that again. Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing when you sit there and say, hey, you can stop by and donate some money. But if you sit there and say, hey, you can get $14 worth of free food for $5, then people get a little more interested.
I have to say personally, thank you, because not only have you supported KFI generally, not have you only supported Pastathon specifically, but you've also supported me personally with how you stepped in and helped sponsor our Later with Mo Kelly pre-Halloween soiree. So let me say publicly, thank you, because once again, Ed, you just step up out of nowhere.
Well,
you don't know the story behind the scenes. He just stepped up and stepped in and made it happen. So I'm saying again, thank you.
Well, and actually, that was another franchisee that stepped up for us and got you the food.
Who put us in contact?
I put you in contact, but
who said he's going to make sure that everything was going to be all right? It's okay that you're humble, but we're going to tell the truth here, okay?
Believe me, without the other 7 franchisees stepping up, we'd get some money in, but we wouldn't get as much as we're going to get in. Mm-hmm. It takes all of them. It's not like you got one guiding force, in Southern California. Everybody has to be willing to do it, and they all have to be willing to push it.
I wonder what you hear from people, and I believe it has grown over the years. When I look at Tim Conway Jr., and he's in a drive-through window fumbling around trying to serve people their fries. I don't know if that was a good idea, but it was funny. It was funny. Funny. I don't know about fun for him.
The best part was watching him put on the gloves.
Right. But it speaks to me about how people are more aware than ever before.
Yes.
People are participating more than ever before. What are you hearing from people?
I think it's getting out there a little bit more. We're in our third year now. The other franchisees are stepping up even more.
Yes.
Today we had 2 of the other franchisees actually here helping at the Pastathon at the White House. There's one franchisee out there right now that's, at the tent, still selling the books right now at 8 o'clock at night. So, they're getting more involved and they're really starting to push it a lot more. So I think moving ahead, we should see good things.
Now, historically, people sometimes think that all this ends tonight at 10 o'clock, and it doesn't. Wendy's, we're going all the way through December 8th. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes.
So how can we make sure that people know and remember? Because sometimes when you leave the moment, you lose the moment. And we don't want people to lose that momentum because there's a lot that we can do. They don't know this, but a lot of donations do come in after Pastathon.
Yes.
Because they've been hearing about it all day and they think, oh my gosh, it's 11 o'clock, it's too late, but it's not too late.
No, they have all the way until Sunday to sell it. Now how do we keep it out there? That'll be up to you guys.
We'll do our part.
But, we'll be taking the money all the way up until Sunday.
Mm-hmm. You talked about how in its beginning stages, you had a conversation with your wife. And if you're anything like me, those conversations usually have disproportionate weight than other conversations.
Yeah.
What has she said to you that you're allowed to tell us in the years since, as she has seen the growth of all of this partnership?
Well, I don't know about most relationships, but in my relationship, she is more the conscience, because I'm a businessman and it's, the daily drive. But she's the one that, gets me to look more out into the world and see what's going on around me more than, what's just happening day to day working in the restaurant. So
we've had any number of conversations where we talk about relationships and the conscience of what we do. And I know that your wife is a very steady and strong force. And I think it's necessary that we acknowledge that because I'll say it's a sum total of a lot of people who they don't see, who are making their contributions and putting their handprint on all that we do. And what has she told you to do next?
She hasn't told me to do anything yet. But, next year I think she'll have a lot more time to tell me because she's retiring. So she'll have all kinds of time to talk to me. But, she has a huge influence on, what I do and everything. But, it really... We give people the opportunity,
yes,
and they're the ones that run with it. I have a great group underneath me, my directors, my operators, and all that, and they're the ones that make it happen in the store. I got 54 stores. I'm not making it happen in 54 stores.
Well, I will say this because it needs to be said. First, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
From one Sagittarius to another, and thank you for all that you do. Even though we may not see it all, even though we may not know it all. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
This is Ed Garrigus, VP Cardiff Foods. And you know him, obviously, with his work with Wendy's. We'll have more on Later with Mo Kelly as we continue to celebrate this occasion. I call it a celebration, KFI's Pastathon. Don't forget our auction items. You can go to KFIAM640.com/Pastathon and bid on our auction items. And you can still come on down to the Anaheim White House, which is 887 South Anaheim Boulevard. And you can hang out with us. You can make your donation in person. And also, just say hello to us. The bar's still open, I think. Is it still open? Oh, there we go. All right. We're going to have some more fun, so keep it right here.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
I started the show off tonight talking about how I was blown away and in awe of your generosity because it's not a one-time thing. There are people who donate every single year, sometimes who don't even want any public acknowledgement. I'll give you a perfect example. We just had someone come out here to the KFI Pastathon and pay $5,000 for a signed AC/DC guitar beautifully mounted in a gorgeous shadow box by, oh my goodness, Erica Records in Buena Park. 100% of that donation goes to Katarina's Club. $5,000, didn't want any public acknowledgement, didn't want their name shared. They just cared about the kids. And Erica Records is a vinyl record pressing plant that has over 40 years experience in the vinyl record manufacturing business. They're keeping vinyl alive. If you didn't know, vinyl is one of the hottest media out there in which you can consume and listen to music. What was old is new again, and you can check out their website at ericarecords.com. That's ERIKA records.com, and they're at Erica Records on Instagram. And I've been telling you about these auction items which are available for you. You have now less than an hour to place your bid or maybe your final bid. The first item that is available to you at KFIAM640.com/Pastathon is the opportunity to co-host an hour of the show with John Cobelt. And look, I'm just reading what it says here, but it's accurate. John does not like this idea. In fact, he hates it. But it's not about John. It's about the kids. So we love it. The opportunity here is you can co-host an hour with John Cobelt. You'll get to pick the topics, and you get to rant with John about the issues of the day. You're just going to have to drink a lot of caffeine because John expends a lot of energy during the show. You know how he sounds on the radio, but to watch him in action is completely different. And I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I'll let you know what goes on in KFI. John does not say a lot off the air. He doesn't really talk to just about anyone about anything. He will very slowly push his chair into the studio. He's very unassuming. You would not know he's even in the office until he gets on the air and all hell breaks loose. California is going to hell, and he'll let you know. He'll let you know everything that's going wrong here in the state, here in the county, here in the city, in a way that only he can. And this opportunity allows you to be part of it. Not only hear it, but to see it and experience it. KFIAM640.com/Pastathon. Also, there's an opportunity to go to a Dodger game with both Gary and Shannon. Gary is a San Francisco Giants fan. I don't know why he's doing this. And Shannon, I don't think she knows anything about baseball. I don't know why she's doing this. But they're both going to be there. You can join Gary and Shannon for a Dodger game. You and a guest will meet Gary and Shannon at the Dodger Stadium to take in a game in a luxury suite. You can enjoy unlimited Dodger dogs and other snacks and drinks, beer if you're of age, and preferred parking is included. Now, the game is going to be determined once they can coordinate a date that works between the winner and Gary and Shannon, but that's a very popular item. It's available to you, and time is running out. Tim Conway Jr., there's a chance for you to go to a Kings game with Ding Dong Tim Conway Jr. himself. The winner will win 2 tickets to the LA Kings game against the Boston Bruins on March 23rd at 6 p.m. And you get to hang out with Tim Conway Jr. and a guy named Keith. I don't know Keith, but I just know he's going to be part of it. You and a friend will join Conway and Keith in seats in the lower bowl right above where the Zamboni comes out. Those are great seats. And if you are a hockey fan like I am, this is something else that you just have to take a look. You got to take a look at it. You got to consider it. Make a bid. And remember, not only do you get this great experience, you're also helping feed children. And also, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our own experience where you can co-host not 1, not 2, but all 3 hours of Later with Mo Kelly on a Friday night. We'll do our Friday night Name That Movie Cult Classic game, and you will be part of it. In fact, if you want, you can even run the game. We will coach you. We will walk you through the whole process of what it means to not only produce a show, but be an on-air personality. This is an exclusive experience that you won't get anywhere else. I see a friend, Daryl here, who came out to our Later with Mo Kelly pre-Halloween soiree, and we gave him the opportunity to see all the studios. We took him in the KFI studio, even the opportunity to sit in the host chair and take a picture next to the KFI mic as if they were on the air. This, you will be on the air. You will get to hear yourself. You'll get to hear yourself on the podcast in perpetuity. For better or for worse, you will be able to tell all of your friends and family that you are on the #1 news talk station in America. And Daryl will pull up the picture. You can see it for yourself. This is something that you're not going to get anywhere else. It's one thing to walk through the studios. It's another thing to actually be on the air and say for yourself, KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. I'm Daryl Sexton, and I'm sitting in as co-host of Later with Mo Kelly. That's how it sounds, and it can be you. Just go to KFIAM640.com/Pastathon and make your bid. Also, you can have your home whispered by Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. You can partake in a 3-hour exclusive in-home design consultation with Dean and his wife, Tina Sharp, that will inspire, encourage, and cast a vision for all your home could be. They'll focus on your needs and share every creative insight which comes to mind in the hope of setting you on the path toward a beautiful home transformation. Whether the result is affirming the plans you've already made or receiving new, quote-unquote, game-changing insights toward a new world of possibilities, your time together will give you the confidence to move forward. There are so many great experiences and items which are available for auction, but you only have about 45 minutes remaining. Is that correct, Michelle? Is it 9:45? 9:45 is your last and best chance opportunity to get one of these auction items. So don't wait. Do it right now. In fact, we're getting ready to go to break. So this is the time where you go to KFIAM640.com/Pastathon and make your bid. I see people with their phones out. Now's the time to do it. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We got one more hour, friends. We're going to keep on donating and keep on feeding children. We are live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You've been listening to Later with Mo Kelly. You can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.